Let's go ahead and clear the terminal, and let's get a wrap up of all the stuff that we covered. So first off, we covered a basic service. So if I scroll all the way back here, we can see that we installed the serverless framework onto our computers. We set up the credentials that links to our AWS account. We created an AWS IAM user called Serverless Tutorial. And then we set up our local configuration with those credentials with a profile name of Serverless Tutorial. And then we did a serverless create command, which used a template called AWS Node.js, which is like boilerplate that gets created for the Node.js runtime for a serverless framework project. And then we called it SRA tutorial. That's why our folder name was called SRA tutorial. And then we CD'd into it, opened it up in our text editor. We cleaned up all the comments and all the stuff that gets there automatically. Then we went through and we added a profile. We added a region. We added a stage. We used this serverless syntax, which allows you to pass in flags like --region or --stage to the actual deploy command. We also talked about how to set up default values in case somebody doesn't pass that flag. And then we looked at what is the handler part of this line here. The handler part is a handler.js file, and the hello is the function name inside of here. So if you change this handler.js file to be called something like main.js, then you would change this to be called main.hello. This would change to main.js. And then if you want to change this to handler, this would also change to handler. So that's how you can kind of change that around to be however you want to call it. I typically call the function inside the file handler, and I call the file name something different. So in this case, it wouldn't be called hello. I would call it main, and then I would call the file name main as well. So then we also set up the npm init. So we set up a package.json. We installed something called the Serverless Enterprise plugin, and then we added a tenant, an app, and this plugin section to link our serverless deployments to the Serverless Enterprise solution, which then shows us things like errors, invocations. It kind of keeps track of all the stuff that's going on with our stack. So it's pretty cool. And with that, I think that wraps up our whole section. So hopefully you got a lot out of this part here. I can kind of give you an idea, overview. We just basically went through the deep dive into the serverless framework. We talked about plugins when we actually installed that plugin. We did a teardown, and then we kind of went through and discussed the different parts of it. So in the next part, we're going to be building the entire RESTful API with serverless. So we'll be going through recreating all that stuff that we did manually, like create user, update user, get user, delete user. But we'll be showing it how to do that automatically through this kind of serverless.yaml here. So it'll spin up everything required for all those APIs that we created, and we'll copy the code over from our other project to save time as well. So hopefully you're excited. I'll see you in the next section. Thanks so much. See you there. Bye.